Take a live look at the U.S. Capitol now. President Biden will likely be making the biggest speech of his life tonight as he presents his State of the Union address.
And it is also going to be one of the biggest audiences he will have this year. And considering that it is an election year, it's an understatement to say a lot will be riding on this.
All right, so let's get into this now with Professor William Muck with North Central College. A lot to talk about. Thanks for being with us.
Good to be here.
Okay, so before we get into what the president will be talking about, a lot of people are already saying his delivery is going to be just as important as the substance of his speech, and that his age is front and center. What does he have to do tonight?
I think that's absolutely right. More often than not, we're looking at what the president says in these speeches. What's the, what are they going to accomplish in the next 4 years? But this one really is about the Biden performance. He's got to confront this narrative that he's too old, that his age is a factor. So he's got to look young. He's got to look dynamic. He's got to show emotion, smile, and he's got to do it for the duration of the speech. And they've got to create these sound bites that they can send out, right? So that's really, really important. They have to change the narrative about being Joe Biden, being too old, and shift the focus back to Donald Trump. It's a big, big challenge.
Yeah, there are a lot of issues too people want to hear him talk about tonight and address. Immigration, the economy, Gaza as well, priorities. You think he'll make any surprise announcements? Because he has received a lot of criticism for not handling all those issues I just mentioned too well.
I'm really going to be looking for what does he say about Israel and Gaza right now, because over the last couple days what we've seen is that the administration is pulling away from Israel a little bit. So the vice president came out and criticized Israel. Today we learned that the United States is going to increase the humanitarian aid to the Palestinians. So the words tonight will give us a key to where Biden is on Israel, right? I think it's really, really important. And while there's going to be a lot of big issues, that's the one that I'm going to be most focused on.
So this is a State of the Union during an election year. This isn't a campaign speech. At least it's not supposed to be. And traditionally, a sitting president does not attack a campaign rival. Do you think he will break that tradition and mention Donald Trump's name?
He may not mention his name, but I think absolutely this speech is going to be about Donald Trump, right? So the big challenge for the Biden campaign is to shift the narrative away from Biden's age back to Donald Trump, to remind people of what it was like during the 4 years that Donald Trump was president. That will be their focus. And so I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of conversation about democracy and threats to democracy. So he may or may not mention Donald Trump's name, but Donald Trump is going to be everywhere throughout this speech, especially as he thinks about the dynamic of global democracy.
Professor William Muck with North Central College. Looking forward to hearing your reaction tomorrow when all is said and done.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate your time.
All right, yeah.